With football season just about to get underway, we caught up with UVA alum and current football analyst Ahmad Hawkins to get his thoughts on this 2022 UVA football season. What are your initial thoughts on new head coach Tony Elliott and his staff?
It's a great staff. Coach Elliott comes in with like a lot of energy. This is his first job, but he's prepared for it. He had years of being just looked at by different universities, and the fact that he chose this university says a lot. And then the staff he brought together kind of fits what he wants, his vision. So I'm excited to see how he does with his tenure here as the head coach.
What are your initial thoughts on this 2022 team based on what you've seen so far in this summer and beginning of fall?
My initial thoughts is it's a lot of potential to be great, a lot of potential. But in any great football team, it starts up front. And everybody, the elephant in the room is the offensive line because we lost all 5 guys. We have a great offensive line coach in Coach Tujay, a guy that helped develop all of those gentlemen that moved on to different universities. So I'm confident in that. I'm confident in the guys that we had here, confident in the guys that transferred here and enrolled here as freshmen. And only time can tell, and that's why you play the games. I'm always super confident that the team would do well, and the schedule bodes well for us as well.
What do you think of the offense this year with new offensive coordinator Des Kitchings and Bernard Armstrong returning at QB with several talented wide receivers?
Yeah, the offense could be explosive. They could definitely be explosive. Brendan's a special quarterback, doesn't get a lot of respect nationally like he should, in my opinion. His receiving core, led by Dontavius Wicks, who's explosive in his own right, Keaton Thompson. You got Malachi Fields, you got Lavelle returning, and Billy Kemp, everybody forgets him. He sets the table. So we have weapons there. And it's going to be fun with Coach Kitchens because you brought him up, because he's going to utilize the running back position in a traditional sense, that they're going to get a lot of carries. And when it's needed, because I know a lot of people are so worried about the word balance, and I just gave you all the weapons we had. But it's the mindset of we can run the football if you dare us. We can run the football if we have to. We can run the football in the red zone. And that's what I like about Coach Kitchens, his philosophy. And then you look at Coach Elliott, what he did at Clemson with the counter action that he liked to utilize. So it's going to be intriguing to see how we utilize our running backs this year.
What do you think of the defense this year with new defensive coordinator John Brzezinski and especially how bad they were last year?
Yeah, man, people always say it can't be any worse, but it can always get worse. But Coach Rudd, what he did at Air Force was, the proof is in the pudding. They got out there. They had a lot of hats around the football. Fundamentally, they were very sound. They tackled very well. But in anything, in the years past here, if we didn't get pressure on the quarterback, we didn't cover well in the back end. And I think we have, Coach Cox is doing a very good job of just setting that foundation for our defensive secondary and showing them what are your keys and how to be better at your craft. And I think that helps up front as far as getting to the quarterback. But at the end of the day, if you can't tackle, you're not going to be very good. And Coach Rudd is making sure those guys can tackle.
Do you think the defense will be able to make a major improvement this season based on the last 2 years?
Yeah, I think they can. And that's not a knock on Coach Bronco and the former defensive staff. It's just you hope so, because if not, then we're wasting the talent that we have on offense. Nobody wants to see that again.
What are your initial thoughts on this year's schedule, and do you think it's favorable?
Yeah, the schedule is definitely favorable. The first 6 games are, I always like, instead of doing wins and losses, people say we're going to win this game, I always do by percentages. And when I went over the schedule, the first 6 games are favorable percentages for us to win. We got a tough road game, test in Illinois, and then we go to Syracuse on a Friday, playing in the basketball arena in a sense. But and going against Coach Anai, who coached here, Coach Beck, who was the quarterback's coach. But after that, it gets dicey. You start to play the Louisvilles. You get UNC at home. You get Miami at home. Coastal Carolina. Don't sleep on Coastal Carolina. Their quarterback's very good. And then we go to Tech. So it's some games, and we go to Georgia Tech as well, which has not been a favorable place for us. I never won at Georgia Tech, no matter how good we were. So that second half of the season is definitely dicey.
Do you have a prediction for the season this year?
To keep it in perspective for a first-year head coach, 7 to 8 wins, I think is a great year for him to start out. But the competitor to me is like win 10 games, because that's the biggest standard here at UVA.